What's up, everyone? I want to show you something that is pretty mind-blowing to a lot of chiropractors that we show this to. A lot of you are doing a day 1 through day 2, day 3 process, something like that, right? Most of us are, for the most part, right? Hold on, I'm going to make sure this is sharing. Come on, Facebook. I'll give you a chance for some people to jump on this. I'm going to show you behind the scenes what we have our patients check out on day 3. 3 is where we do our care recommendations in detail, our financial. We don't do a day 1, day 2. We do a 3-day system. Why? Because you have to. You have to, the way that we do this. All right, let me just share this. We'll give a chance for a couple people to jump on here live. And hold on. Live now. Live now. Okay, all this stuff popping up. Find it easier to share this on my phone when I go on our page, then we go in our group and we can reach more people and they can see when we go live. So if you haven't already, please join Functional Movement for Chiropractors. It's a private Facebook group, and then you'll see notifications when we go live when we share this kind of stuff, which will be better for you because then you are in the loop on how this stuff works. So I only have 5 minutes here. Let me share my screen, get to work, show you how this looks like. Okay, let me just show you this. Okay, so here's what this is. Let me hide this off the page, hide here. All right, so this window that we're in, let me make this a little bigger. All right, yeah, that's better, okay. And let me show you inside here. This is inside my ClickFunnels account. This is something inside of MoveNow University, which is a program that teaches chiropractors how to integrate their practice with functional movement in 12 weeks and 90 days. Part of what we do is we share all of our processes and procedures, and we have some pretty cool processes and procedures. One of them is on day 3. So just real quick to catch you up, day 1, we do consult, exam, x-ray, okay? Yes, we have some chiropractors who don't do x-ray that are part of MoveNow, but I am a huge advocate of x-ray, so most of our chiropractors do. Or if you don't have it in office, I'll give you ideas on how to send out. Powerful tool, very important clinically. Multiple reasons x-ray is, I would argue, very, very important as a chiropractor. So consult, exam, x-ray, day 1. Day 2, we do what's called a FROF, a brief report of findings. We review what we found on day 1. We continue on with the patient, give them options and care on how they want to be taken care of. If they want more of a corrective type of care, which most people choose that, we then do a movement assessment on day 2. Day 3 is where we go through the financial with them. It's where we go through the organized care recommendations. We call that the FROF on day 3, formal report of findings, or you could even call it the financial report of findings, but I like formal report of findings. That's day 3. And instead of sitting down with a patient and having to educate them on every single thing that we do, because in the MoveNow system, we address segment, posture, movement. We put this together in a revolutionary way, very comprehensive. You'd be surprised how patients gravitate towards this because this is what they're looking for. They're looking for a comprehensive clinical approach. They don't want the quick in and out. You might think that people are cramped for time and they want to come in for a 5-minute adjustment and everyone loves that. Most people don't. I'll tell you, most people don't. Most people are willing to dedicate the time and energy if they can see the benefit, and this resonates with a lot of people. So segment, posture, movement, we educate them on this model before we go through all of their clinical recommendations in detail, before we show them exact cost of program, all of that, their initial investment. However, on day 2, we run towards the danger. We pull out objections on day 2. We give them a range and what their investment is and what the time frame is, all of that. So we work through those objections before we even put this together on day 3. So day 3 is really an educational process. It's not a sales process. It's not a here's what the number is. Are you ready to do it? They already have a concept, and we've worked through that on day 2. Day 3 is dialing it in and truly patient education, okay, and having them set up successfully for the next several weeks of care. So this page right here, what I have up is I have an overview that essentially what this is. Let me just pull this up right here. This overview video. Patients sit down and they watch this sequence of videos. It's not just one long video. it's a series of 4 or 5 short videos. And so we pre-frame them. I'm going to have you go to the consult room, have you watch a short sequence of videos that's going to give you a foundation of knowledge on how all of this stuff works. You'll be icing while you're doing that. So we'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I'll meet you in there as soon as it's done. It's a conversation I literally have with patients every single day when they're doing their FROF. I then run back and meet them in there after they've gone through this, ask them if they have any questions, and then go through a packet of information that we have prepared for them. And then they pick a payment option, they schedule their care, and they get started. Okay. So why does this work so well? Because it's true, it's honest, it's patient education at a very high level. We made these animation videos. Mind you, this is a sequence that we share with all of our MoveNow University members, all of our doctors. So those of you that are members that haven't gotten to this point yet, hit me up and I'll fine tune and let you know if there's anything that we need to talk about so you have a better understanding of how to use this. For those who are just finding out about us or on the fence about joining our program, watch our demo.movenowu.com. You can see all the details of how this fits in, but I'm going to show you just briefly. This 4th video is about segments. So what we do is we have an intro video. It's like a minute and a half. We talk about movement. So we start with something that's globally universal that people understand, movement. Sorry, I'm talking fast, but I don't have a lot of time. And then we go movement, posture, segment. We end with chiropractic. We tie it all together. I'll show you like a minute of how this works, and hopefully you can hear it here. Here, I'm going to unplug this. The last thing to cover in this triad is actually where we began. On your initial examination, we start off by looking at the individual segments of your spine. So the segments can shift and misalign from trauma, affecting the discs in between and the nerves that exit between each one of the spinal bones. Do you remember what that's called? Yep, a subluxation. And if you remember, one of the most surprising facts about a subluxation is that initially, most subluxations don't cause any pain at all. So that means that by the time you're in pain, the nerve is inflamed and your body is in a crisis. And then if you take it one step further, do you remember exactly what those nerves control? That's right. They control everything. Every single cell, tissue, organ, everything in your body is controlled by nerves that branch out from your spine that originate from your brain. Wow. All the facts are really making the case that keeping your spine healthy should be one of your top priorities, right? With all of that said and everything you've learned so far, the conclusion is that the adjustment alone will not correct your problem. Here's a recap of why. The segments of the spine gain their stability from the proper curves and the global alignment, or what we talked about in the previous section, your posture. If your posture is faulty, the segments will never gain the stability that they need, and you will require a more frequent adjusting schedule moving forward. And in the meantime, the abnormal postures and loads in the spine will unfortunately continue to exist. Over time, your body will accrue the wear and tear from the excessive stress that these abnormal postures exert on your spine, and the arthritic process will continue on. If you have any faulty movement patterns, those need to be part of the plan as well, and here's why. You can have a spine where the joints are aligned and healthy. Check. Your posture can be solid within normal limits. Check. The curves that are supposed to be there are there, and you're pretty much a happy camper. Check. But if your movement is faulty, when you bend forward to pick up your child, you go to pull some groceries out of your car, or you go and exercise in the gym, then the wheels fall off. Things go south. Now a segment misaligns. Now the posture shifts, and the process will continue to repeat, and the damage will accrue with every episode. So the moral of the story is that for the most complete care, the segments, posture, and movement must all be addressed and measured. And if a problem exists in any one of those areas, they need to be addressed. You want to know a little secret? The vast majority of the people that we see out there have some level of issue in all 3 categories. And it's our job to figure out how to address these 3 components and map out a customized care plan so you can get quick and effective results. This now concludes the overview of how your doctor follows the MoveWell approach. So please let one of the team members here know that you're all set and ready, and the doctor will be with you shortly. And then when this ends, this button pops up, all done. They click that, doctor will be with you shortly. And then we come in and we go through everything. How cool is that? Pretty cool. All right. That's what I wanted to cover with you. Hopefully this piqued some interest and got you going, whoa, what is that? That's pretty awesome. I want to know more. Watch our demo. We go through the process of just how we put all of these systems in place. MoveNow is not just how to put the clinical functional movement aspect into care, into your clinic. It's all the moving pieces around there to engage patients, keep them on track, motivate them, get them bragging about it to their friends and family, making you relevant, unique, and different in your community. It's all there. This video, for example, this sequence, and there's 4 of them, I believe 4. It took me about 30 hours to create this. I created it for our clinic. Then I modified it and made it universal so it works for all of our MoveNow chiropractors. So everything inside our program we do in practice, we make sure it works, we refine it, and then the finished product is what we share with our doctors. And currently, I mean, we have close to 170 clinics that have access to this information that are using our systems in one way or another. The doctors that are more implemented, that are using it closer to how we teach it, are getting the same level of predictable results that we're getting. So if you're looking to do something different in your clinic, take it to the next notch. This system could be right for you, might not be, could be right for you. Watch the demo, schedule a call, we can jump on. Appreciate you. Talk with you soon. Let me know if you have any questions. Over now.